Retevis has sent into the channel a Retevis RT97S, their newest version of a repeater. This is a GMRS repeater. So very nice piece of kit. Yeah, it's not much to look at from the outside. Eventually we'll get to look at the inside, but let's talk about it first. So it comes with this cool little leather strap on the top, so you can carry it around easily. So really from the outside, you only have a couple things to worry about. You have a connector here for the antenna, okay. Over here, you have a connector for the power. And this particular model adds a 9-pin connector on the side, and that adds a bunch of functionality. So we'll talk about that. There's a RT97 that does not have this new connector, and the inside is different. So they have revamped this thing. So it's interesting though. I think it has basically the same specs though. It's a 10-watt transmitter, okay? But it has to go through a duplexer. And so you lose about half of the power doing that. So at the connector, at this connector, you can be sure there's 5 watts. So we'll test that out. But it's a 5-watt device. Okay. Let's see. There is a little window here. There's some up-down arrow keys. So there's 16 memory, so you can configure this way, 16 different ways. Most of the time, you're going to configure it one way and never touch these buttons ever again. It's going to be your repeater. So you get to set what frequencies it's operating at and what CTSS tone it's working at, so you can put that on the receive, so the machine will only listen to signals that have that tone on it. Yeah, so what else comes with the device? You get a DC power supply, okay? So this can go in a cigarette lighter. It takes about 2.5 amps to run this thing at 12 volts. And so this is going to be popular with people doing camping or people doing RTVs, ATVs and stuff. So it's a nice portable rig. And a lot of times when you're camping, you might be worried about maybe somebody not being able to hear you. You could put an antenna way up in a tree and then have a little local repeater, and you can keep track of your friends and family and stuff that way. You can be running around in your Jeep, not a Rubicon, there's a plug. And so we can also power it up at home. Comes with an AC adapter. This is a 5 amp 12 volt AC adapter. Goes in the same connector. Okay, it's a 4-pin connector. And you also get a programming cable, which at first glance you're very confused. Okay, it also has a 4-pin connector. So you say, well, how do I program it if it's not powered up? Well, when you plug this in and you attach this to your computer, it powers up just the little CPU inside, and you are able to talk to the device and program the device. You're just not going to be able to transmit. But yeah, so that's all you need. You don't need to power this thing up when you're programming it. You just plug in the programming cable and you're done. All right. So I think maybe we should go hook up the programmer, and I'll show you what you can do with this thing. And then we'll program it to our desired frequencies, and then we'll plug it into the analyzer and see what this thing does. Did I mention it's heavy? It's all cast aluminum. This thing is just solid cast aluminum. It's not plastic. This thing is solid. This thing is built to last. It's the real deal. All right, so yeah, let's go take a look at that.
All right, I've plugged the cable into the repeater and attached the USB cable to the computer. Here's the program, RT97. And I guess you use the same program for either the 97 or the 97S. And it looks like a typical program. Let's see here. We have to figure out which COM port we're talking to. Let's quickly do that. Device manager, ports, looks like it's on COM 3. Set communication port, COM 3. Okay, it's set to COM 3. And then we can machine file program. Here we go. Read data from interphone. Interesting. Okay, read it from the interphone. Okay, there we go. So you can see that we have a list of frequencies. We have 16 different memories, and we can set them up for different things here. So here are the defaults. This is the first 8 lines here are all defaults. I added a line 10 here. Let me just get rid of it for now. Okay. So this is what comes with the device. So this is the receive frequency, 467.55. The transmit frequency is 462.55. I thought that was the other way around. Maybe I'm thinking of it backwards. And then it comes with default CTCSS tones, whatever you want to call them. Set to high power, narrow FM modulation, function setup. Anything there? Let's see here. Relay tail delay 1. I guess that's 1 second. Transmit function is on. Squelch level. Key lock. Tail tone eliminate. On or off. I wonder if that's a double negative. You can turn the tail tone. Anyway, I'll leave it as it is. And then embedded message. Oh, embedded message. That's interesting. Don't know what that is. Let's see. What else do we want to do here? Read, write, save, folder, information, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So this is basically what you get. I mean, there's really not much to repeaters, right? So let's go ahead and create another one down here. Let's just copy these down here. 90. Oh, it's okay. We want to make this 92. 92. All right. So we're going to, let's see here. It's going to be listening on 467. Transmitting on 462. And I just want to create this because I want to have no tones. So it will always just key up on those tones. So that'll be number 10 will be the one we'll be testing at. Okay. Yeah. So if we want to then write this, we click the write button, write it to the device, and we are complete. So now we've created an additional thing in memory here, and I can access those for those up-down arrow keys on the front panel. Okay. I think that's about it for programming. I don't think there's anything else. It's super, super simple. So yeah, let's go ahead and close this. And just because we're in front of the computer here, these are the frequencies for GMRS, the different channels, how many watts you can do, whether you can do it with, oh man, don't you hate pop-ups? Get rid of that thing. The frequency, so most of the time you're going to be operating simplex, which means you're going to be going in and out on the same frequency. You're going to be transmitting on the same frequency, listening on the same frequency. And then when you get up here to 15, okay, again, you can use that as you'd like, all right? But then you get up here to 15 RP, so the 15 channels also can be repeater channels. And you can listen on 462, but retransmit at 467, and you're able to go up to 50 watts on these particular channels. So there you go. If you have a handheld radio, you're limited to 5 watts, but if you have a base station, you can go up to 50 watts. That's the way the FCC has laid things out. All right, and if you have an FRS, which you don't need a license for, you're limited in watts to 2, and if you have a GMRS, which requires a license, then you can go up to 5 watts. All right, but they're the same frequencies. Some of the frequencies are low power frequencies, and some are high power. If you want to learn all about GMRS, go over to Not a Rubicon, and he will teach you everything. All right.
All right, I have the repeater hooked up. I have power coming in. I have an antenna hooked up. Actually, it's not an antenna. I have the a radio monitor hooked up. We'll go over there to the HP 8921. Okay, so here's the little display, and it has an R and a T, so it's receiving on 467.55, and it's going to be transmitting on 462.55. Yeah, I have that backwards in my brain. Yeah, you transmit at the higher frequency, and then it down converts it to the lower frequency. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And the little 10 over there means that we're on memory 10. Remember, we programmed memory 10 to do this without any tones. Now, if you hold down a button, it actually does volume. So over here on the 9-pin port, there's actually speaker output. So yeah, if you just click it once or twice, it's just going to give you volume. And then if you do longer clicks, then it goes 1, 2. Because most of the time you'll never do this. You might do volume quite a bit, but you might not do the other one. So we'll go back to 10. It's faster to go this direction. There we go, 10. Okay, so we're set at 10. We'll cover the 9. We'll cover this 9-pin connector over here later. It has microphone input, and in fact, they'll sell you a microphone that actually attaches to that 9-pin connector, a speaker mic, so you can actually use this as a radio now. Before, you couldn't like hack into it and actually transmit and receive yourself. So this can actually be a base station. You don't need to use an extra radio yourself. You could just use this, so it gives you one more radio. So that's pretty cool. I'll show you later in the video here. But let's see if it actually works. So for this testing, I'm going to be using my favorite GMRS radio. It happens to be a Retevis, but it is a really nice one. This is a RB17P. So if you haven't, I did a review on this, RB17P. This is a great little radio. So let me turn it on. And I'm going here, and I'm going to be transmitting 462.55. And you're going to say, well, your repeater is connected into a dummy load, basically. It's going into your analyzer. Well, it's going to leak a little bit. If I transmit, it's going to hear it, okay? And so if I transmit, you can see here we've got 4.9 watts, and we're at 462.55. And yeah, there we go. Very nice. I probably could chunking somebody else, but anyway, just a quick test here. All right, well, this thing has these big giant screws on the front, just begging to be opened up. Just begging. So I think we need to do that. So yeah, it's begging to be opened. Okay, let's flip it open here. It's connected to the front, and it is elastic down, so I don't want to touch anything right now. We'll just kind of flip it open like this. There we go. So this is the little display and buttons. It goes onto this connector here. This is where the power comes in. There's a little, looks like a little DC to DC converter here, regulating the input. It's supposed to operate from 12 volts to 24 volts, and I think that's what this regulator does. It probably takes it down to some intermediate voltage of some type. But here you can see the big main thing in here is this duplexer. And it is, let's see, let me get my drink out of the way. Let's flip things around here so we can read it correctly. 462.55, 467.55, that's where it's tuned. So it has, how many cavities? One, two, 3. So 3 cavities on each side. So a real nice one. So we can look at the wiring here. So the cable, your antenna comes in here, comes in on this brown cable. The brown cable comes into the middle of the duplexer, and then the high goes on this cable and comes around over to this half of this thing, and then the low comes over here and goes over to the left-hand side of this thing. So this is the entire radio right here, okay? And so inside this cover here is a receiver on one side and a transmitter on the other side. And looks like we might be able to go inside there and take a look around. There is a little board right here with some capacitors. Whenever you have connectors to the outside world, a lot of times it's good to have bypass capacitors on every single pin, so you won't get any RF radiation out or in. It'll kill them right there at the connector, so that's a nice attention to detail. Soldering looks okay on the thing. There's a plate here that kind of holds the whole thing. I don't think there's anything underneath this thing. I think it's just up on a standoff. Yeah, it's up on a standoff. So the only thing really is what's under here. I think we should, I think we should go take a look. Okay, I did take some photographs so I can read that thing there. That's the transmit chip. It says 2904 B25JRC. And this little receive chip here seems to be a, this one's harder to read, something like a 3L24CO8F. I don't know. And then the big chip is, the big chip is a 64F2831 AMW. That sounds like a microprocessor to me. Microcontroller. Yeah, so that's what's inside this thing. Maybe on a separate video I'll sweep the duplexer, but for now I will button this thing back up. And it has rubber grommets all the way around. Very nice. Seems to be watertight. Everything is elastic, all the connectors and everything, so certainly is moisture resistant. All right, this video is running long, so I am going to leave the 9-pin connector for a different video, and we'll take a look at those signals and stuff. But it's basically, I'll show you the pin out here just to make this video complete. It's just transmit and receive. There's a push to talk. You know, so you hook up a microphone. It's really, that's all there really is to it. It tells you whether it's busy or not, whether this thing's hearing anything or not. So it gives you that signal. But then there's just an input, audio input, there's an audio output, and then there's a grounded push to talk. And that's about it on that connector there. And we'll give it a try on, like I said, a different video. But anyway, this particular device, I'll put a link down below. This particular device comes in lots of different options. You can buy it just like this. You can buy it with a microphone. You can buy it with an antenna. You can buy it with a microphone and an antenna. They have a whole bunch of different, every single option you can think of. So if you just don't know anything about nothing, you can just buy the whole shebang and you're ready to go.